I'm going to have to be careful. I'm looking at the camera. This is so funny. So I'm here with Eric, the genius of all things computer and video and social media. And Eric's going to have to unconnect to come over here so you can see him.
Oh yeah, here, I'll come over here.
They've got to see the genius behind the show. Eric Christensen, everyone. So he's
How's
got this
everybody?
big old monitor set up for me and the camera above it so I can see all these slides we're going to go through. So if you couldn't tell from the beginning intro little video that Eric had going, the topic today is going to be age-lock Lumispa. So we had so much fun at convention last week, and it was a blast meeting so many of you. And there's just so many activities I won't even try to recap because it was a lot of fun. In the experience area, it was amazing to see the setup and the photo opportunities and experience the products. And there was also a stage in the middle of that experience area. And on the stage, we were doing some age-lock Lumispa presentations in English and a handful of other languages. And we had nice new slides for those presentations. And I did quite a few of those in English, and I just thought, you know what? All of you are going to want those slides. In fact, some of you at Live were asking me, we want those slides, Anganel. So today, the purpose of this Facebook Live is we are giving you the slides, and I want to talk you through them so that if you want to use any of them, you want to use one of the slides, all of the slides, you know how to talk through them. So first of all, how do you get the slides? You can go to newskinusa.com, our website, and or if you're in Canada, newskincanada.com. I don't know if that's the URL or not, but if you go to newskin.com, you can pick on the country. And the point is, when you go to the front page of our website, there is an ad for Lumispa. So you simply click on that Lumispa ad. It will take you to a page that as you scroll down at the bottom, you'll see a little button that says Marketing Materials. Click on that Marketing Materials button and you will see these new slides have been uploaded. The slides are titled, I think it's New Skin Live Lumispa Deck. So those are the slides you want. And those slides even have 3 videos embedded in them. So let's get started in talking you through these slides so that you can actually be the owner of this knowledge as you share it out with other people. So here on the first slide, we are going to talk about just setting up that this is a first of its kind, actually the second slide, that this is a first of its kind skincare solution. So you are basically going to point out 3 points, and you don't need to go into a lot of depth on this slide because the next 3 slides will dig deeper. So those 3 points that you're going to call out are the skin renewal, the deep cleansing, and the 7 skin benefits. So things that are really setting this apart. So in the next slide, we jump into the first one, which is skin renewal. Now, on this slide, this can be a vague concept for your customers, for your consumers, and so we want to make that term, skin renewal, real to them. And what skin renewal means is bringing up newer layers of skin to the surface faster. That's sometimes also called increasing cell turnover. You're getting rid of upper layers of cells and bringing up newer layers, turning over those cells, bringing them up to the surface where we can see them. This essentially is removing those old dead layers of skin. The upper surface layers of dead skin are flatter, they have less moisture to them, they're more affected with the signs of aging. So that's why we always want to bring up these newer layers of skin, because the newer layers of skin are going to feel softer. They're going to look more plump, look like they have more volume and density, and they're going to feel more toned and firm and energized. So that is what skin renewal is all about. Next, you jump to the next slide, which is about deep cleansing. And on this slide resonates with everybody. Everybody wants to really deeply clean their skin and be so effective at that. And so this slide doesn't take as much effort. It's a little bit easier for you to explain. You simply talk about how throughout the day Whether you wear makeup or not, there are so many impurities that need to be cleaned from your skin. You have dead skin cell buildup, you have oils that can clog and can combine with the dead skin cells, you have bacteria that can start feeding in this environment on top of pollutants that are already in the air. And then if you wear makeup, you've got that on top of it. All of this is clogging your pores and creating a barrier that is preventing the most effective treatment and care of your skin. And so we want to clean those pores out so that the pores themselves will appear minimized, but also that the pores will be clean so that the products you're putting afterwards, age like me, are going to absorb better and be more effective. So the last of these 3 points in the next slide is the 7 skin benefits. So here we talk about really what's in it for them. Why do they want to use ageLOC and Lumispa? What are they going to see? What are they going to feel in the mirror, see in the mirror, feel as they touch their skin? So the first is the skin renewal we talked about before. You'll also see the smoothness. That's one of the huge ones I'm seeing with any demo. People just can't stop touching their skin as they compare the two sides and how much softer and smoother it is. The radiance, how much brighter the skin is looking, how much better light is reflecting off the skin, making it look younger. You've got that refreshed look. The purifying, the deep cleansing that we talked before is one of those core benefits. The appearance of the minimized pores, and then the big whoppers, the appearance of the increased volume and density in the skin. All right, so now we're ready to move on to the next slide. And here you are just simply explaining how demonstrable this product is. ageLOC Lumispa, after just one use, you can see and feel results. That skin renewal is one of, being able to target that so effectively is one of the quickest ways to see anti-aging results with a product. And so we're definitely doing that here. All right, on the next slide, we are going to share a video with you. So just give us a second while Eric is switching over here for the video. I want to show you the video and actually talk you through it so you know how to explain the video to your consumers. So this first one is an orange video where we apply makeup to oranges. You're going to see we apply the makeup to both oranges. And the first one cleanser and your hands, which most of us do. We rub that cleanser on and splash, we rinse it off with water, and then we pat dry or rub our skin off with a towel. Now you can see that method left a lot of makeup in those little dimples of the orange, or i.e. your skin and the pores. Now compare that to our ageLOC and Lumispa. And cleansing with the Lumispa, you are going to see how much more effectively it can, after you're done cleaning, it is, and you wipe off with the towel, you're going to see all those little dimples are so much cleaner. And that really is a demo illustrating the results with your skin. With the Lumispa, you're getting a much deeper cleaning, removing all those impurities from the pores so that your skin feels and looks beautiful. So one visual for you. Many people are visual learners. So that's why that video is effective. So let's go to one more video. This video is using Jello as the analogy for your skin.
All right, just a second. I'm going to turn the volume down because the video, the audio on that video was pretty loud.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so I had to turn it down. So I'm going to turn it down for all of you.
Okay.
There, so.
Do I need to back up and repeat the explanation about the orange?
If you'd like to just, real quick, you probably could if you wanted to.
Yep. So sorry. So we weren't sure if I would be competing with that video or not as I was explaining. So let me do a quick recap. We normally cleanse with our hands. And when you wipe the orange, you can see how all the impurities are still left in those dimples, kind of like would be left in your pores. And in the second time, you see we use the Lumispa on the orange, and when we wipe it away, you see all those little dimples in the orange are clean. So it's showing how much more effectively we can clean the skin with the Lumispa device. All right, so let's go ahead and show the Jello one. Now, am I okay to talk?
We should be okay on this one.
All right, perfect.
So here we go. Let's give this a shot.
Okay, so here we're going to use 2 competitor devices and our device. Now notice with this first competitor device, when we lift it up, you're going to see how it's torn up the surface of that Jello. You see little blobs come off and drop off. You're going to see this happening with the second competitor device as well. It's rough on the surface of that Jello and tears it up and doesn't leave it smooth or soft. Now you'll see with our device, first, notice how much this Jello is moving. There's more movement here than with the other devices. But also note, it's not tearing up the surface of Jello. You can't get much more delicate than the surface of Jello. And so it's showing just how powerfully we are able to move and stimulate the skin, but not be aggressive or tear it up or be damaging to the skin. So we're getting the benefits without the aggression there. So love those 2 visual videos, very powerful. Those were super popular ones at the live event in explaining how this worked. So the next slide is going to talk about how hygienic. Now you really want to hit this slide well with your friends and your consumers, because this is something that sets us apart from every device out there. We are using, instead of a bristle technology, we're using a polymer surface. And this polymer surface is a silicone that rinses away so much easier. It is less abrasive and easier to clean, but also we have embedded silver into that silicone surface, and silver has natural antimicrobial properties to it. So we've got another video that just makes this visual for us. So we'll give Eric a second to pull that video up for us, and then I'll talk you through it as well.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Okay, so we pick a beautiful model, always a good place to start, and we applied glow-in-the-dark makeup on her. And then we'll show how it's glowing in the dark. See here, it's all popping up and glowing there. And now we're going to take the competitor device and we're going to clean one half of the face with the competitor device. And you'll see that it is removing that glow-in-the-dark makeup. And then we'll use our device, and again, it's removing that glow-in-the-dark makeup. But then we're going to show you both devices in the dark, and you'll see that that makeup is on both. They're both glowing. So they're both dirty. Now we rinse our device, and it quickly and easily rinses clean. But look at the competitor device. Like, the reaction every time is, ew. That's disgusting. And sure enough, when we put them both in the dark, you see ours is not glowing in the dark, it's clean, and the competitor device was glowing in the dark. It's much more difficult to rinse and adequately clean those porous bristles on competitor devices. All right, so now we can move on to the next slide. And here we're going to follow up that video with some additional visual explanations. So you're going to see 3 columns here. And the top row of each column is our ageLOC Lumispa, and then the bottom 2 rows of each column are the 2 competitor devices. Now in the first column, you're going to see the devices clean with no makeup on them in the dark. So we're showing that before using them, all 3 are clean, all 3 are not glowing in the dark. But in the second column, you can see we've the glow in the dark, the fluorescent makeup is on all 3 devices, and all 3 are glowing in the dark. And then in the third column, we have rinsed all 3 devices, and we've put them in the black light, under the black light again, and you can see our device is clean. It's not glowing in the dark, but the other 2 devices, after being rinsed, are still glowing in the dark. That fluorescent makeup is still on them. So again, another cool little study that is showing some visually showing how hygienic our product is. Okay, now we can move on to a closely related topic, and that's bristles. You can see in the picture here, we've really blown up a picture of the ends of bristles to help you see that they have sharp, jagged, rough ends. Those edges are abrasive. And because of that, in the first picture, you can see a lot of redness to the skin with the competitor device, as it has roughed up and irritated the skin, just like with that Jell-O. However, in the second picture, there's much less of this redness that's going on, and this was a sensitive skin type person. So you can see exactly what is happening there, and again, a nice visual for us. So moving on to the next slide. We continue this theme of explaining the difference between polymers, or the silicone surface, versus the bristle surfaces. And an analogy I like to use here is, well, first of all, let me explain what's happening in these pictures you're seeing on this slide. The way to explain this slide to your consumers or your customers is that these types of cleansing devices help to remove or exfoliate upper layers of skin. The difference with our device is it's doing it gently and smoothing down the layers left behind, where the competitor device with those bristles with the jagged, sharp edges are removing those upper layers but roughing up the layers that are left behind. So think of it this way. Here's an analogy for you. Your hair. When your hair is all healthy and beautiful and the cuticles are all laying down flat, the hair shines and you don't look like you have split ends. But when those cuticles are lifted up, the hair looks dry, it looks damaged, it looks rough. The same thing's happening with your skin. When the skin is roughed up and those layers of skin aren't laying smooth and flat, it doesn't look healthy and radiant. And that's what this surface is doing, is it's removing those upper layers of skin, but leaving behind polishing and leaving behind smooth layers of skin in its wake. And that's why we're getting, one of the reasons why we're getting such dramatic results in our demos that we're doing, especially when it comes to smoothness and softness. All right, so now we can move on to the next slide. And let's talk about what you want to focus on when you're talking through this slide. Really, we're going to get more into the science here. We're going to talk about how the formulations work together with the device. That it's not just any cleanser that can be used, it needs to be the ageLOC Lumispa cleansers. In fact, originally we looked at using some of our current really high loyalty popular cleansers, but quickly realized in some of our studies that the viscosity or the thickness and density wasn't quite right. And the next slide will illustrate this for you. We'll go a little deeper here. So you can see in the first little depiction here that when this treatment cleanser is too thin, then it will actually, depending on how you're looking at the screen, I might be backwards here, but look at the column that says too thin. When the formula of the cleanser is too thin, then this device grips the skin too much and won't let go. And we don't want to tug the skin too much because that damages the skin. But when it's too thick, then this device, when this cleanser is too thick, then this device won't grip the skin at all and just slides right over the skin, which we also don't want to have happen, because we discovered that when the thickness is just right, this device will grab the skin just a little bit, it tugs the skin just a little bit and then lets it go. And when you hit the sweet spot of just a teeny bit of a tug and then a release, we've discovered in our clinical studies that it's causing stimulation to the skin. This stimulation to the skin is what is allowing us to make these claims of the improved appearance of volume and density in the skin, which of course is what helps the skin appear youthful looking and healthy and radiant. So that's what this slide is all about, that grip and then the slip that we are providing, that unique technology. And it is the counter-oscillating, the micro-oscillating technology, there's the term for you, micro-oscillating technology, where these two circles are turning in different directions. That combined with the cleanser is what's giving you that grip and then the slip. So, next slide. Here we're simply going to explain that they've got some choices, and this is when we want to tell them about all 5 of the cleansers they can choose between and the 2 different treatment heads that they can choose between. So first of all, we do have 2 treatment heads. One's a normal one that could be used for any skin type. But then we also have a firm option that many people feel is giving them a little bit more exfoliation, a little bit more smoothness in the results that they're seeing afterwards. Simply make sure, or simply ask the question if your client has sensitive skin. If they don't have sensitive skin, then they might have a lot of fun trying the firm treatment head. Now with the cleansers, we've got 5 options with the cleansers. You have 1 cleanser for dry skin types, 1 cleanser for normal or combination skin types, a cleanser for very oily skin types, 1 for acne-prone skin, and then the final 5th one is for sensitive skin types. So 5 different cleansers. There absolutely will be a cleanser to fit their specific skincare need. So, in the next slide, this is an easy slide. You don't need to spend a lot of time here, but you do want to emphasize that they need to use this little set 2 times a day, morning and night. This is going to completely replace whatever cleansing routine they're using right now. Even if it's Age Lock Gentle Cleanse and Tone or 180 Face Wash, this they'll use it morning and night in the place of whatever their current cleanser is. If they use it 2 times a day, as directed, they're going to see all those benefits, those 7 skincare benefits that we got so excited about at the beginning. They're going to see those. So 2 times a day for 2 minutes. Let me quickly explain what the 2 minutes means. When you should draw an imaginary line on your face, horizontally across your face. So, across your cheekbones, across your nose, that splits your face into 2 categories, right? Now we're going to vertically draw 1 more line down the center of the face. Now, all of a sudden, in your mind, don't really take a marker or something, but in your mind, you've got these 4 quadrants where you will use, you'll apply the cleanser, and then you'll use the device for 30 seconds in each quadrant. And that will equal the 2 minutes. All right, so now we're ready for the next slide. And so we've talked about all the basics. We've emphasized that they need to use it 2 times a day for 2 minutes, and that when they're faithful and consistent, they're going to see some amazing results. And then in this next slide, we simply talk about, it's coming, I can't quite remember, is it the waterproof one? Is that the next one?
Oh. Yes, it is. There we go.
Perfect. I thought it was the waterproof one. So this is a good one as we're starting to wrap up this presentation, to emphasize, because we just talked about being consistent and the importance of using it twice a day. And this slide right there is going to help with that, because you can let them know this, because it's waterproof, they can put it in their shower. And what does that mean? It makes it easier because it's right there at their fingertips. They jump in the shower in the morning, they just throw on the cleanser, they do their 2 minutes, they lift it up to the shower head, rinse it off, set it back down, they're done, get out of the shower, finish with the rest of your routine. So it's just we're simplifying the process, and anytime you can simplify, studies show that people are more consistent. When they're more consistent, they see the results. All right, so the next slide really is hitting some of the most popular questions we're getting, which is usage. So you cleanse first with your ageLOC Lumispa, and then you follow with ageLOC Me, using your serum with ageLOC Me and then your day or nighttime moisturizer with ageLOC Me, and you're done. It can be as simple as that, 3 steps and you're done. Now you could, if you want to take an extra little added bonus in there, you can definitely add the facial spa into your routine 2 to 3 times a week. Facial spa would be used after cleansing with ageLOC Gentle Cleansing, after ageLOC Lumispa, but before your ageLOC Me serum and moisturizer. So ageLOC Me, then the Galvanic Spa, ageLOC Lumispa, then the Galvanic Spa, and then you finish with ageLOC Me. So very, very simple, just 3 little steps right there. All right, so then at the end of your presentation, you want to talk about doing a demo because you want to do a demo with your customer, your client. And your next slide really is more for you than them, but it does show them the simplicity. This slide will show them the 4 quadrants that we talked about. And this one shows those 4 quadrants slightly different. Sometimes it's easier for people to do the whole forehead in one sitting and spend more time here in the eye area and then just doing the chin in one sitting. It just depends on how simple you want to do. The 4 quadrants keeps it simple. So if it's somebody new, just do that. If it's somebody skin savvy, I would go with what's on the screen here because you can spend a little bit more time in the eye area and get some nice lifting action going on there. But this slide also shows you the steps of what you're going to do when you're doing a demo. So it kind of serves as a reminder for you as well. You're simply going to moisten the face with a spray bottle or I highly recommend NAPCA Moisture Mist. We're going to dampen the face. Then apply the cleanser, a good dollop, about a quarter size will apply, and then you go ahead and turn the device on, simply pushing the button. The button is in the center of the device, it will light up, and in fact I'll show that to you. I can see Eric going to move to zoom in on here. So you can see this button right here. When I push the button, it's going to light up, and the 2 surface circles move in opposite directions. And if you ever forget where you're at, let's see if I can turn this just right. You can see one light blinking right here. After 30 seconds, it's going to start moving around the circle of the button. A second light will appear, a third light, and then a 4th light until you have a full circle of light around that device. So then you simply start using the next step. Once you've turned it on, put it to the skin and either use a gentle circular motion or an upward-outward motion. A circular motion is keeping it simple. You do get maybe slightly a little bit more lifting action if you're using an upward-outward motion, similar to what you use with the Galvanic Spa. But don't complicate it. Remember, simplicity is key to consistency, so keep it simple. And that wraps up those slides. You simply rinse off and maybe finish with pearls or ageLOC Me moisturizer, and no matter how much they beg, do not do the other half of their face. Always do the demo on the right side of the face. And by not giving in, I know it sounds so mean, but don't give in, because the whole rest of the day they are going to be feeling a difference between the 2 sides of their skin, and it tends to really drive home throughout the day how powerful this product is. So I can't wait for you to start using these slides. Go get them, download them. I've even included some little speaker notes, some little cues for you underneath each slide to make it a little easier for you. So have fun, pick the points that are your favorite. You don't even have to do, few people now are going to sit down with their friend and do a PowerPoint presentation, but you could go look at these slides and pull a few key notes that you like out and do your own Facebook Live on just one of those points. In fact, you could turn this presentation into, like, how many slides did I have? I think I had 23 slides. You could turn this into 23 Facebook Lives that you've spread out from now until the live launch on January 6th. so that you would have, you know, a trickle of information. As long as you stick to that 80-20 rule. I don't want Eddie hunting me down or Eric hunting me down saying, Anganel, you're breaking the social media rules. You don't want to overwhelm people with too much product information, but have fun, play with the slides. Can't wait to see your success. Can't wait to see you shine with this information on your own social media endeavors. Thanks so much, everyone, and have fun experiencing for yourself the results of Lumispa. Talk to you next week. Bye.